I'm here.
I saw Denny. He was there, Bettina.
I'm
Okay,
here.
sorry, I am wrong. I looked through it earlier and I did, even though I must have admitted you, but there were so many sometimes that I was just hitting the button. I must have missed it. All right. So welcome everybody to this afternoon tributes of our dear friend Warren Kramer. And I will have Alex say the opening words. Alex, if you would start.
Yes, hello everyone, and welcome to the conclusion of the 2021 Macrobiotics Summer Conference. We've been meeting for 5 days with friends from around the country and from abroad. We had cooking classes from India, from Russia. We just had a Middle Eastern cooking class. Anyway, it's been a very informative, enjoyable, and inspiring week. And our dear friend, Warren Kramer, was actually scheduled to teach this morning for our health panel. And Warren has been our core faculty for many, many years, really from the beginning of the planetary health era, following the closing of the Kushi Institute. And Bettina, Edward, and myself, we worked with Warren really for 20 or 30 years at the Kushi Institute. And in fact, we worked together in the Netherlands on and off for at least 10 years at the Kushi Institute of the Netherlands. So it's with deep sorrow that we heard about Warren's passing earlier this month, and we all extend our condolences to his wife, his son, and his family, and close friends and associates. And so we immediately added this half-hour session to our concluding program this afternoon to honor Warren, his life, and the many friends he touched around the world, and his legacy. So I'd like to begin. We have several speakers who give short reminiscences and share some of their memories of Warren. And then following that, Warren's wife, Bettina, will say a few words and talk about the family's further tribute to their departed husband and father. So I'd like to begin with Denny Waxman. Denny, we're happy to have you here this afternoon, and I know you were one of Warren's closest friends and associates, so please share with us some of your feelings and reflections at this time.
First of all, thank you, Alex and Bettina and Ed, for this opportunity to speak. And I'd like to express my condolences again to Fatim and Adam and Warren's parents. I know how much of a shock it is to me, so I can't even imagine for people even closer. Warren kind of started macrobiotics with me. Mary Kett introduced us at a summer conference and suggested he see me for a consultation. And I said to him, I'm not sure if you want to, because if you follow my recommendations, you'll probably lose your competitive edge and your killer spirit to compete. He said, I don't care, tell me what to do, and this is what I want to do. And that was really the beginning. And, you know, when I think back about it, basically what he did, he transferred that spirit, you know, competitive spirit for, you know, tennis to macrobiotics. And I always, you know, really admired his passion and his vitality, you know, for just traveling endlessly. I mean, I gave up after a few years, but, you know, he continued on. And as Alex said, he really touched and helped many people, you know, here and internationally. What I just wanted to bring out, I figure it'll be short and sweet. I was reflecting on, you know, the whole situation, and Warren passed on July 3rd, 2021. Aveline Kushi passed July 3rd, 2001, exactly 20 years to the day. There are no coincidences. And this is some kind of spiritual epic, I think. And as, grave as this tragedy is, and, as big a loss as it is to everyone into macrobiologics, I've just have this, recurrent thought that some great good will come from this, or at least it's my prayer, my hope that that will actually happen. So thank you for this opportunity. And I also wanted to say on August the 3rd, we're hosting an event, Sherry Damaris, together with SHI. And the title is Warren Kramer, An Inspired Legacy, Learning from Each Other. And the purpose is to just try to bring some calmness and understanding and share some reflections, that I've had on the whole situation, and other people, or other dear friends and teachers, just to share together in a different way than the memorials for him. So thank you for this opportunity. I saw a lot of faces I recognize. Bye now.
Danny, when is that event, please?
August 3rd from 4 to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
And we can find that on your website?
On SHI's website, if you're on our email list, we'll be sending out an email probably tomorrow announcing it. We'll post it on our social media. You can always email Tehran at info@shimacrobiotics.org, info@shimacrobiotics.org, for details and registration.
Well, thank you for organizing that. That's great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Denny, for your words. And just parenthetically, I might add that about a week ago, my friend Daka and we visited Aveline's grave. She was moved from the Kushi Institute, where she was buried, to the Beckett Cemetery. And actually her daughter Lily too. And it's actually a beautiful alcove with 2 trees and a bench and extremely peaceful setting. And so we kind of let her know about Warren and about kind of what's been going on in the macrobiotic community. So I think there's been some communication with Spirit World on this for sure. All right, our next speaker or person to reminisce, I'd like to call upon Kathy Albanese.
Unmute myself. Am I unmuted now?
You are.
Great. Thank you, organizers, Bettina and Alex, for what you're doing, and for at the last moment having this tribute to Warren. And I just want to say my heart goes out to Fatim and Adam and all of Warren's family for what has happened. I know I am myself pretty upset about it. I first met Warren in, I'm guessing, the late 1980s or early 1990s, when he was 20-something and an avid tennis player. I had gone to the Kushi Institute summer conference held at one or another of those New England colleges that were preferred locales at the time. I didn't have a roommate, and the conference organizers were happy to supply me with one, a beautiful young woman with dark flowing hair who lived in New York City, as I recall. Warren and she became a pair throughout the conference, so I never really got to know her very well. And that was that. I never did learn what happened to their budding friendship. Fast forward about 20 years, and now I was getting to know Warren in a completely different context. Instead of a young and promising bachelor, he was now a married man with a beloved partner in Fatim and a son, Adam, whom he obviously adored, and whom he was always eager to talk about in public settings or private conversations. He was becoming an emerging star on the macrobiotics lecture circuit. More than that, macrobiotic friends were citing him for his wise advice and counseling skills. And maybe best of all, in a bifurcated macro world in which the men were the counselor lecturers and the women were the chefs and cooking teachers, Warren was an enthusiastic culinary, as much or more at home in the kitchen as behind a podium. He demonstrated a full repertoire of cooking skills and could serve up an encyclopedia of knowledge about the best products available and why they were the best. He could talk about Mom's hazelnuts or Purcell Mountain Farms organic beans or Lindley Mills corn grits in the midst of showing how to massage a cabbage to make a first-rate pressed salad. Later, he began to teach at the Kushi Institute, coming in to spend a weekend with students in one or another of the levels. I recall one such weekend when, in the midst of a cooking class in which he was doing a demo, he had drawn the familiar chart of the 5 transformations on the blackboard and was using it, triggered by his food choices for the class, to present the best lecture I have ever heard on the transformations. Best because he was getting us students to think about the chart actively, figuring out where the foods he was preparing fit on the circle, why they were there in precisely those spots, and how they supported or inhibited other places on the charts. Warren was dazzling that day and just plain awesome. Other days, when I was at conferences in which he presented, I loved to hear him talk on liver or kidney issues. The liver, I think, was his specialty, with lecture titles like 50 Ways to Love Your Liver and the like. He at one point recently published an article in Colin Campbell's newsletter on liver themes, and I cut and pasted it on my computer because of its wonderful recipe for a mung bean stew that would make your liver sing. Everywhere I traveled, seemingly, I would hear people talking about Warren's visits, his counseling skills, and his marvelous lectures and cooking demonstrations. Everything he did, I thought, reached a high water mark, brimming over with knowledge, with enthusiasm, and with personal tales so that you knew this wasn't merely book learning. He had, as I learned, been Michio's scribe, for something like 17 or more years. But more than that, this man walked his talk, and that fact made absorbing a lifestyle from him memorable and easy. I last checked in with Warren this past fall of 2020, when he was offering a Zoom series of hybrid events in which he combined new recipes and cooking instructions with lectures on the foods he was using and why. So the theory and practice combined in the superb ways of which he was master. I thought he looked a little peaked at times, but attributed that to the distortions that Zoom technology and video can make, and didn't think much of it. Now I know better. Warren is gone from our midst, but it's hard to think of him that way. His teaching and person are all so memorable. He continues, I think, to be with us in spirit. He will not soon or easily be forgotten, and his gifts to the community will continue to live on. We will miss him, but always some little gem of wisdom that he gave us will appear, seemingly unbidden, in our minds. It will be his way of saying that he is still very much with us and glad to be of service and to be there. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. And I think we first will hear from Ed next. Ed, if you could.
Yeah, hi, everybody. Thanks, Kathy and Denny. Those were great, really amazing tributes. I met Warren first in 1986. We had a Kushi Institute program in Morristown, New Jersey. So our teachers would go down twice a month, present lectures and consultations. And Warren came for consultation. As soon as I saw him, I thought, what does he want a consultation for? He's a healthy, young, active tennis pro. He should be giving consultations. But nevertheless, we had a session and he got started. He took very meticulous notes and kind of the rest is history. And over the years, my most famous or favorite image of Warren was Warren in the apron, smiling from ear to ear, grinning. And it was always a very, very secure feeling to know that Warren was in the galley, manning the kitchen. One of the first men actually to excel in macro cooking. Many of us were a little hesitant to get in the kitchen because we had such strong, the women cooking teachers. Warren wasn't afraid. He crashed right through that glass ceiling and said, no, I'm going into the kitchen and I'm going to show off my skills and do an amazing job. And that's exactly what he did. And what Denny pointed out, Warren passed on the same day as Abilene, July 3rd, 20 years to the day. Makes me think that Warren is still manning the galley in the vibrational world with Micho and Abilene and other macrobiotic seniors who've gone before us into that world. And also they're helping us. Warren and Micho and Abilene and all of the wonderful seniors are sending their energy toward us all the time, encouraging us to be strong and to be united and together in this very challenging time that we're now entering. So anyway, Warren, thank you so much. We can't wait to see you in the next world. We know we'll join together in the big conference that's coming up in that world at some point. We know you'll be there manning the galley and providing great food and great inspiration for everyone. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Ed. I think Jane and Lino want to say just a few words, and then I think we will go on. So Jane, if you want to say something.
My handsome husband's here with me now. I spoke with Warren about 2 months ago. I had no idea that he had been ill for 3 years. I had called him about a fitness article for my newsletter. And I said, Warren, you're one of the most fit macrobiotic people I know. And I know you play tennis. How do you stay fit during the pandemic? And he said, well, I lift my cast iron frying pan a lot. He made a joke. I'm so glad I got to speak with him. He was one of our favorite macrobiotic friends, and I loved attending his lectures. Lino's a consummate student, and I can find Lino at all the beginning lectures, and Warren was one of our favorites. He was intelligent without being intellectual. He was straightforward, clear. He always had a sense of humor. I think he just truly loved macrobiotics and teaching it. He loved it so much that he traveled, I would say, all the time. As you know, he traveled a great deal, too much, he said. On the cruises, we always had lunch together, and he said, I've got to stop traveling so much. I think he was so dedicated and wanted to help so many people that it was one of the facets that was challenging to him. There's an old Irish song called Johnny, We Hardly Knew Ye. It's a song the Irish sing at memorials. And they wrote a whole book on it for John F. Kennedy. Interestingly, lived in the same town as Warren. And I feel the same about Warren. Warren, we hardly knew you. we miss you, but I feel as Ed does that your spirit is still there. We can communicate with you, and you're up there with many beloved people. And we really do miss you. And in the Jewish culture and the Jewish faith, it's called doing a mitzvah when you do a good deed. And Warren, you did them. You gave to the world everything you had, and our deepest condolences to the team and Adam, and to all of you who love Warren.
Thank you.
We had a very good time together on the cruises, and everywhere we met, and sure, I'm going to miss him very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I think we will go to Fatim. Fatim, if you would like to say a few words, and our condolences really all go out to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to thank, all the speakers, Denny, Kathy, Ed, Lino and Jane, and all of you for being here today, for honoring Warren's memory this afternoon with this beautiful tribute. Alex, Bettina, and Ed, thank you for organizing this at the last minute. Adam and I will be forever grateful for all the loving memories that you have shared with us, and we will treasure them in our hearts. So thank you. As many of you know, Macrobatic Summer Conferences had a very special place in Warren's heart. It was everything that he loved most, all in one place: teaching lectures, teaching cooking classes, like you said, Ed. Warren really enjoyed, and was really proud about, being one of the few men who was there teaching cooking classes. Seeing old friends, meeting new ones, connecting with, his colleagues, teachers, gaining new knowledge and insights from other teachers. Socializing with people. I know this year the socializing is all on Zoom, but I know that Warren always enjoyed, going to those conferences, driving, to Beckett, and meeting new people, and just connecting with, people from all over the world who were studying macrobiotics. Our conference was also very special and meaningful for Warren and I, on a very personal level. Alex, you mentioned that Warren was teaching at the Cushy Macrobiotic Summer Conference in Europe, and this is actually where we met at the European Summer Conference in Amsterdam in 2004. And I believe that Jack, you were there, Alex, you were there, because I think I met you there for the first time. Yes. So this is, how we met, Warren and I, and we fell in love that summer. Now, of course, it's a time that's, very mixed with emotions. For me, I'm very proud of Warren, as I'm hearing all the stories that you have shared and all the incredible contributions that he has made to the world, and how he has touched so many lives. Adam and I miss him every day. And we will be honoring him this next Wednesday with a virtual memorial through Zoom. My dear friend Dawn, who's here, I believe, is helping me organizing it. So this is going to be next Wednesday from 2 to 3:30. We're inviting people to connect through Facebook, either on Warren's account or my account or Macrobiotics of New England, and to sign up for that event. So just want to thank you. Thank you so much for all of your kind words and all the memories that you have shared. Thank you so much.
Warren was really, really special. I mean, I heard it all the time too. And he would really speak about you and Adam in glowing terms to everybody. It was both of you. I mean, and that's also why he said, well, I never get to see him. I can't travel anymore. I never get to see them. That doesn't work. So I need to change. So I remember that. And I thought, yeah, I understand, because I couldn't do it with my son either. So our condolences. But let's take one moment of silence, sending our loving energies, and may the shining ones join Warren in his onward journey. And may our most loving wishes join him on his journey, and also on Fatim and his son's journey, that all will be well. Thank you. And Alex, I think you have a prayer, Michio.
Yes, Bettina. Yeah, we'd like to conclude this session. I would like to share with you a visualization for healing planet Earth that Michio Kushi wrote. So please sit straight and quietly in any comfortable position. Hold your hands on your lap or in the prayer position with palms touching. Stabilize your breathing. Now visualize the Earth as a bright, tiny ball in the vastness of space. Visualize that blue-green ball temporarily covered with a heavy, dark aura. Visualize the way of life and health spreading from kitchen to kitchen, from home to home, from family to family, beginning with you. Visualize people gradually recovering their health as they eat and live in a more natural direction. Visualize more and more of the land devoted to growing grains and vegetables, and less to raising cattle and other livestock. Visualize the rivers and streams becoming cleaner and cleaner as natural farming and organic gardening spread. Visualize the air becoming purer and purer as less industrial pollutants are released into the atmosphere. Visualize the plants and the animals thriving and returning to forest and woodland, oceans and lakes. Visualize human beings living peacefully on the planet with no more war, crime, violence, disease, poverty, or injustice. Visualize people of all colors, sexes, ages, and backgrounds living harmoniously in a world of enduring peace, playing from morning till night, traveling freely, and respecting one another's customs, traditions, and ways of life. Visualize the stagnated energy of the earth from sickness, from crime, from war, from climate change, and all other sources, melting into the general circulation of the energy as a whole. Visualize the earth becoming lighter and more energized. Visualize the dark aura of global warming around the earth gradually dissolving, the temperatures declining, and the earth's aura becoming brighter and brighter, lighter and lighter. Visualize the earth as a tiny ball in outer space, surrounded by a radiant halo of energy, spiraling through the Milky Way. Visualize yourself as being at one with the earth, the heavens, and all of life. Hold this image for a few moments. Let it subside naturally and allow your consciousness to return to normal.
And thank you, everybody. And thank you, Alex. And again, our very best wishes, Fatim, to you and your son. And yeah, wishing all the best for you and stay in touch. And that's for everybody. Let's stay in touch. And yeah, like it says in the chat, Adam, you are so handsome. Somebody made him very uncomfortable. Anyway, thank you, everybody. And I think we will move into the next section of our evening's program, which is now going to the auction. Alex, is that right? Am I?
Yeah, the auction comes now. We invite everyone who joined us for this service to stay online and join us for the auction. We'll be raising money for macrobiotic education. And then following the auction, hopefully in about a half hour, our conference will conclude with the conference skit, which is a comedy about the ideal country of Macrostan, somewhere in Central Asia. So please stay tuned if you would like. We'd love to have you.
Bettina, I put a link to the memorial on Wednesday in the chat, so everyone can go to that link. It's free, but you have to buy a ticket, or you have to register for a ticket. And if anyone has any problems, you can just hit the button that says contact the organizer and it will email me. But I hope everyone will be able to join us on Wednesday for the memorial, where we'll talk a little bit more about Warren's process and we'll welcome people at the end to say a few words or share a memory. But it's right there in the chat if anyone wants to find it.
So from Don Ludwig's note there's an Eventbrite link. You can see it if you scroll up a little bit. Thank you, Don, and thank you, Fatim. Thank you, all of you that you were here. And well, we will go to the next part then. And again, you're welcome. Anybody is welcome to join us now. We have some more wonderful things coming up. So it is our, let me actually for a moment stop and start the recording.